Hey Glam Squad, it's Jamie, the owner of Glam Event Rental, and I'm back with another video. And today I am going to be just kind of talking you guys through the steps that I took to start my business. And just so that you guys know, I started my business in the dead middle of COVID, and I only started it with $1,000. So if you guys are interested in how I did it, I just want to be able to inspire somebody else. If you've been thinking about getting a business started and you have a million and one excuses, I don't have a lot of money, it's a pandemic right now, I just want to give you some encouragement and a little bit of guidance on what you can do to just get out there and get your business going regardless. So if you are interested in some more information, or if you want to know my journey, then stay tuned. So I'm not a lawyer or anything like that, or any sort of like business expert. So this is not for me to like give advice. This is just to give encouragement and to let you guys know what my personal journey was and how I started my business. So the first thing is to just kind of give you guys the backstory. And I just wanted to first talk to you about like what encouraged me to want to start my own business. So just so you guys know, I already had my own business. I owned a daycare, but it was something I did out of my house. It was more so a business that I enjoyed doing it, but I more so started the business because I had small kids. Like when I first started my daycare, I had an infant and my daughter was like 4 years old. So I needed to do something where I could be at home with my kids, but I could still be making money. So like I said, it was something I enjoyed doing, but it wasn't necessarily my passion. It wasn't anything that I thought I was going to do permanently. So when COVID hit, I ended up having to close my daycare. And then at that point, it kind of put me in a position where I had to decide, what is it that I want to do with my life next? Like I was kind of in this position where it was like, I wasn't doing anything. So I had to decide what I was going to be doing next. My kids were going to school. My daughter was already in school. My son, the one that was an infant when I first started, he was going to be going into pre-K. So I needed to kind of decide, do I want to go back into doing daycare again, or do I want to make a different business move? And that's when I decided that I was going to start up a different business. So the next thing is, how did I decide what type of business I was going to open? So I wanted to do something that I enjoyed doing. I wanted to do something that didn't feel like work. I didn't want it to feel like a chore every day. And one of my favorite things to do is to plan my kids' birthday parties. When me and my husband got married, I planned the wedding myself. I didn't have like an event planner or anything like that. Of course, I had like family and friends that were helping out, but as far as like all the decision making and stuff like that, like I planned everything out myself, and I picked out all the decorations and everything. So it's always been something that I've enjoyed doing, but I didn't necessarily want to be an event planner because I wanted to be able to create things that I was interested in and things that I liked. I didn't necessarily want to have to go off of, like, for example, doing someone else's wedding and having to do what the bride wanted. I wanted to be able to pick what I liked, and then if someone else liked it, then they could come to me. So I decided to do a party rental business. So once I decided what type of business I wanted to have, I had to start making the steps towards getting things going. Mind you, we're in the middle of a pandemic, worldwide pandemic. So there was a stay-at-home order. It was only so much that I could do. I wasn't able to like really get out there and hit the ground running or anything like that. So I just kind of started doing all the groundwork. So I applied for my tax ID, and that's something that you can do fairly easily. You just go to irs.gov and apply for a tax ID. It doesn't cost anything. It literally takes about 2 to 3 minutes to do it. I had to see, I got my notes here so I don't forget anything, but I applied for my sales tax permit. in the state of Texas, anytime I think that's pretty much any state, anywhere that has sales tax anyway, you have to apply for a sales tax permit if you're going to be selling any goods or any services. So I did that. I was able to do that through the Texas Comptroller. And then the other thing that I did was I built out my website, and I did that through Wix. I just did it myself. And this is not a paid promotional video. Like, I'm not sponsoring anyone. So this is just what I did. And then I got a business line. I got a separate cell phone. I just ordered like a little $50 phone from Amazon, and just got, I Googled the cheapest cell phone plans, and I think I paid like $200 for the entire year for this cell phone plan. And I'm like, I don't care if it's a slow phone or whatever, like, I don't care. This is just my second phone. This is just for my business. So I just wanted to have a separate line, so if anybody called the business, I knew that it was a business phone so that I could answer it accordingly. And then the other thing that I did was set up social media. So I set up my Facebook, I set up my Instagram, and then YouTube. I also set up a YouTube channel, and I started trying to get my business out there, promoting any way that I could that was free, because again, I was starting this business with $1,000. I didn't have like a huge jackpot of money, you know. I mean, I had other money, of course, to fall back on, or if there was an emergency or anything like that, but as far as getting the business going, my budget was $1,000. And then the other thing that I did was I got listed on Google, but I didn't get listed on Google until after I was about to launch. Getting listed on Google is free. It doesn't cost anything. It's a very easy process as well. It makes it so that people can find your business easily online, increases your online presence, and it takes a couple of weeks in order to get on Google because they have to verify your business. So I did that probably as soon as I knew that I was going to start building up my inventory. Which brings me to my next point. How did I decide what I was going to buy when I first started the business? Because again, I only had $1,000. So I needed to decide what I could rent out that could be a staple piece by itself. Something that I didn't necessarily have to have a lot of in order to rent out. So I know the thing that's really popular right now is like throne chairs. You can rent them out for baby showers. You can rent them out for birthday parties, like a sweet 16 or a king size, which is huge down here. I live in Dallas, so king sizes are huge down here. You can rent them out for weddings. Did I say weddings? Weddings, baby showers, sweet 16s, and king size. So I knew that renting them out for events would be something that would be easier to do with throne chairs because they could be like a standalone piece. So I found a distributor that's in Dallas that makes and sells the throne chairs wholesale. So they normally sell them for, I think, like $750 a piece or something like that, but I was able to find them for a lot cheaper if you did the wholesale route. So I purchased the throne chairs, and I started renting out the throne chairs. And then what I decided was that I was going to reinvest 100% of any money that I made from any of my rentals. And when I would reinvest it into the business, I would just buy new inventory. So I started out with just throne chairs, and then once I rented out the throne chairs, then I bought a flower wall. And then once I got the flower wall, then I will once I rented out the flower wall, then I will buy I would just keep going. So I got tables and chairs, and then I got, you know, tablecloths and chair covers, and then I got things to do like a backyard movie night. So I have like the inflatable screen and the projector, and I have a speaker and the concession stand, and I have like a round backdrop now. So like you'll see the progression. Like if you go back and you look at my videos, you'll see like you can tell like every time I got a rental, because I would do a new video for like whatever the new inventory was. So that's how I got going. I got the ball rolling that way. Like anytime I would have a rental, I would take all of the money from my rental and put it back into my business and buy new inventory, because the more inventory I had, the more people I could be appealing to, because somebody might not like throne chairs, but they might like the flower wall. So you just never know who your audience is going to be. The more stuff that you have, the more people that you can appeal to. So as far as like being able to do deliveries and stuff like that for my rentals, I luckily already owned a van because I was doing daycare before this. So I just used the same van that I use for my daycare, which is actually our personal vehicle too. And we would use the van, like lay down the seats in the back, load up the decorations like throne chairs or the flower wall or whatever it is that we're delivering, and that's the vehicle that we would use to do our deliveries. As far as like signage goes, I just like ordered some $20 magnets to go on the side of my van, and you know, like it's just small things like that. I mean, you may not think that the magnets really do a whole lot, but literally almost every time I go to a drive-through to go pick up food, the person that's giving me my food, they're like, so what is this? And I'm like, oh, this is my party rental business. And they're like, can I take a picture? And I'm like, sure. So then they take a picture of the sign, you know. So it's like it's advertisement, and it costs me $20 to do that. So I mean, you don't have to have a whole lot of money in order to start a business. You basically just have to have the motivation. A lot of the things that I did for the business in the beginning, I would just do it myself. Like I wasn't hiring people to do anything for me. I was just doing things myself, like designing the logo. I didn't pay anyone to do that. I did that myself. Designing the website, I did that myself. Just as many things as I could possibly do myself, I did on my own, because I didn't have a whole lot of money to go towards the startup of this business. So you may be wondering, like, well, what did you do in between like getting the business started and the time that it took to start making money? Like, how did you make ends meet basically until the business started making money? And the answer to that is, one, I am married and my husband was working, and luckily he had a job where he made enough money to where he could take care of all of the finances on his own. But also, after I closed the daycare, I started looking for a job. So I actually did get a job. I work a full-time job. I still work a full-time job to this day. I work for an insurance company, and I work from home. So most of my events that I do for the party rental business, they fall on the weekend. So I work Monday through Friday, and I work from home, and I do the party rental business on the weekends. So you just kind of have to make it fit. Whatever your lifestyle is, however you're able to make it work out for you financially or time-wise, you just have to find a way to figure it out. And I was just blessed enough to be able to find a way to do everything. So, I mean, I work full-time. I have a party rental business on the side, and I also do YouTube videos as well. So you just have to kind of figure it out. So one aspect of starting a business that I wanted to touch on that not a lot of people really talk about is the fact that, like, you don't get instant gratification. So after I bought my throne chairs and I got everything going, I had my Google listing out there. I had, all my social medias up, and I started getting followers pretty fast on like Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. Just mostly like from like support from friends and family and stuff like that. So I thought that as soon as I posted that I had, my throne chairs in there, the phone was going to start ringing like instantly. That does not happen. So you get your inventory, you start your business, you post everything online, and then you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait. And weeks go by, and probably months go by before you even get an initial request for a rental. So it can be frustrating when you first start a business. And I just want to put it out there that if you're not making money right away, that's okay, because the money will come. When I started my daycare, I wasn't getting calls right away for the daycare. And I kept going, and eventually the phone started ringing. And my daycare has been closed for probably a year now, and the phone still rings. I still get calls for the daycare. So I'm just saying that once you get a reputation out there, once you get your name out there, once people know about you and you start to get that traction, then eventually you will start to have steady customers. You will start to have that phone ringing on a regular basis, and it's going to come. Like, you have to learn patience. And I'm not just saying that like just to say this to y'all. I'm saying this for me too. Like, I have to learn patience too, because sometimes I just kind of expect for things to happen faster than what they're happening. But I have to remind myself, like, as I'm recording this video, we're still in COVID. So this is a new business. This is still a new business for me. So I have to remind myself, and I want to put it out there so that you guys know as well, you have to have patience with your new business. This is like a baby, like you're raising a baby. Like, this business is your baby. So you can't expect for it to just jump up and start running. You know, you have to do a lot of nurturing and put in a lot of time and a lot of work and a lot of effort. And it's going to be really, really, really slow motion in the beginning. But I promise you, if you keep at it, you will be successful. And that's just it. So if you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to get more information from me, leave a comment below. And if you want to join the Glam Squad, hit the subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next video.